Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This channel is dedicated to me learning about different things from around the world. So I'm watching any kind of video about any kind of subject that I find fascinating or interesting. So yeah, today I am continuing my reaction to Geography Now, and this one is for Ireland. And Ireland is one of those countries that I know a little bit about, but not a lot about. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this video is about. But before we jump into it, if you are a new viewer or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe to my channel. Consider subscribing, press that button, and also press that bell icon so you will get notified about new videos. And also, if you like this kind of content and if you like my videos, then please give it a like. It will give me the feedback and tell me that you like my content and that you like my videos. So yeah, let's just dive into this Geography Now video, and yeah, let's see what it's all about. Let's do it.
Hey everyone, we reached the land of 1/8 of my own heritage, Ireland, which means I'm probably a far-off distant cousin of our favorite Irishman, Potter! For those who don't know, Potter has helped us out in many of the animations in the past, and Potter has been such a great guy, so we decided to fly Potter out here to literally be in Potter's own country's video. Potter, you rock, man.
It's pronounced Potter.
Patter.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Too late. I've been calling you Potter for like 2 years now. I'm not changing my mind. Anyway, we've reached Ireland.
And I'm here to correct him if he gets anything wrong. So don't worry, lads.
Yeah, that is so true, Potter.
So that's what that feels like. The Emerald Isle. Europe's rain shield. The McNugget. Ireland is loaded with so many notable spots and regions.
And there's a town called Dingle. First of all, Ireland is the third largest island in Europe, located in the North Atlantic Ocean, separated from Great Britain by the North Channel, the Irish Sea, and St. George's Channel. And did you notice how I deliberately avoided British Isles?
Yeah, good call.
Now, here's where things get a little confusing.
Okay.
Ireland's subdivisions.
But, technically, Ireland is a part of what is called the British Isles. It is one of the islands in the British Isles. But yeah, I don't know if that's a hot topic or yeah. But anyway,
Just get it over with quick and fast.
So when discussing the independent sovereign state, most people are referring to the Republic of Ireland, which makes up these 5/6 of the island. And unless mentioned otherwise, this is the Ireland we'll be mostly discussing.
yes, Ireland is an island, and on the island of Ireland there are two countries, the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, which is a part of the UK. So yeah.
In this episode.
To this day, the last fifth northern part of
I told you I knew a little bit about it, so yeah. Again, if you have watched my videos before, you also know that I'm sort of a history nerd. So yeah, I know a little bit about world geography and world history, but it's not as if I know every little detail about it, so yeah. Anyway, nerd.
Ireland here is actually part of the UK, and it doesn't even quite know exactly what to label itself. Some call it a province, some say it's a region, some say it's a constituent country, but the point is, the UK holds on to it.
Which, as you can imagine, has created some interesting feelings in the past with the Irish.
It's weird
Yeah.
though, because the people here can choose their own citizenship, be it British, Irish, or both. On the west side, the North Ireland border just juts into the farmland, ending at a small village called Manger, and provides a 7-kilometer wide corridor to the town of Bundoran for the rest of the Republic to enter into Donegal County.
And then you have the strange Penne enclave right across the Finn River, with only a tenth of a kilometre wide entrance that Ireland grabbed and is still part of Monaghan County. This, in return, gave a small exclave to the UK, an unnamed patch of land with only 3 small farming homes.
The only way to get in besides
Okay.
swimming across the river would be by taking the most name-switched international road on the island, the Irish N54, which turns into the A3 highway once you cross into Northern Ireland. Then it switches back into the N54 once you cross into the exclave. Then it reverts back to the A3 again for about 2 kilometers, and then back to the N54 once you
Okay.
cross back into the Republic of Ireland. So literally, it's like Irish, British, Irish, British, Irish.
Or as I like to call it, my dating life. Also, the UK was like, instead of following the Boyle River all the way up to Boyle Lock, why don't we just swerve left through farmland to take the entire city of Derry? Because hey, logic! Basically, to an Irish person, the entire island of Ireland, including Northern Ireland, is
Yeah.
just Ireland.
So if you consider the administrative divisions, the Republic of Ireland is divided into 26 counties. However, many also include the extra 6 from Northern Ireland and call it 32. But then there's the 2 city and county councils, Limerick and Waterford, and the 3 city councils, Dublin, Galway, and Cork, making 31 local authorities in the Republic of Ireland, and technically 37 again if you include Northern Ireland's counties, and the
Yeah.
capital of Dublin.
Sounds about right.
Okay, yeah, ooh, I got that right. Woo.
Historically, though, Ireland was also kind of split into 4 provinces that many people still refer to today. They are Connacht, Leinster, Munster, and Ulster. Northern Ireland is often
Okay,
referred
yeah. I've heard at least of Ulster and Munster before, but I've never heard about the other 2. So yeah, interesting. Ireland is one of those places in the world that I would also like to visit. Right now, I'm watching videos about countries that I actually want to visit in the future. I've never been to Ireland. I've only been to England. In the British Isles, I've only been to England twice, and it was only in London. So, yeah. England is also a large country that I would like to travel around in, and I would also like to visit the other countries of the UK, Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland. So yeah, I would actually like to travel all of the British Isles if I could, if I have the opportunity, because I'm the type of person that, as I said before, I'm a history nerd. And colonial history of the world is one of those things that really interests me and fascinates me. And you can't really you can't really say colonial history of the world without saying the British Empire, which was the greatest and largest empire in the history of the world. So yeah, I am a bit fascinated about British culture and British history. But yeah, let's continue with Ireland, that I know a little bit about, but not a lot. So.
to as Ulster, as it encompasses most of the counties that make up the historical province.
Otherwise, the largest cities after Dublin are Cork and Limerick, with the largest airports being Dublin, Cork, and Shannon airports. Keep in mind, if Northern Ireland was included in this, Belfast would take the number 2 spots on each of those lists.
In addition to being an island itself, Ireland also hosts hundreds of smaller little islands and islets, the most populated ones being Bright Island by Cork, Achill Island in Mayo, and Grumna and the Arn Islands in Galway.
Finally, some places of interest across Ireland might include places like Trinity College,
The Guinness Storehouse,
the Neolithic tomb of Newgrange, which is older than the pyramids of Giza,
the Rock
Whoa.
of Cashel,
Glendalough and Wicklow, the Blarney Stone of Cork,
that island that was filmed at the end of Star Wars is called Skellig Michael,
Tory Island, which kind of has like its own king.
Scotia's grave where an Egyptian princess is buried supposedly. I didn't know about that one.
Didn't even know that. Wow. I just found it off of Atlas Obscura. The Mound of Hostages,
The Cade of Fields,
the Sky Garden.
Who Cares
Wow.
Lighthouse, the oldest continuously used lighthouse still operating in Europe.
You live right next to it.
Yeah.
Sean's Bar, the oldest surviving pub and possibly the entire world.
And of course, way too
Wow.
many churches, abbeys,
Sean's Bar. Epic place. I've never heard of it, but yeah. It's the oldest pub in the world, really. Huh. Yeah. I would like to visit. See what kind of beers they have, if they have their own. Yeah, maybe their own special brew. I don't know.
castles, dolmens, tombs, everything else to list.
Way too many of them.
Way too many.
Oh, and avoid Temple Bar, right, in Dublin. That's like
Okay.
a tourist trap, and you can't actually meet any real Irish people there. It's just don't go there. Don't go to Temple Bar.
Go to Coppers.
Coppers.
Yeah.
Ah, beer. You guys know your way around the pint.
Okay, I will go to Coppers.
don't you?
Oh, well, Irish people do, but I don't actually drink.
Oh, okay.
After that Manic Coke.
Oh, yeah. Ireland is very green. The end.
Alright, so there's a little bit more to it than that.
Ireland is a post-glacial carved mineral and sandstone island with about 12 small mountain ranges, the majority of which are located in the north, west, and south.
You'll notice looking at the map that the east coast of Ireland seems to be relatively smooth and straight, whereas the west coast of Ireland seems to be all choppy and serrated with inlets and peninsulas. Almost like if you took a ball of clay and just spread it across a flat surface in one direction.
One direction.
Anyway, the tallest peak is Mount Carntool at about 1,000 meters,
And the longest and most important river being the River Shannon.
and a large lake on the entire island being Loch Ness in Northern Ireland. However, if we're talking about the Republic of Ireland, the largest would be Loch Corrib in West Galway.
The west side is also home to the most notable natural landmark, the Cliffs of Moher, that rise about 120 meters straight up from the ocean.
Otherwise, you have the Sleeve Cliff a bit further north.
Wow, 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 wow. These nature images that I see from all these places, especially Ireland and Scotland and Iceland, that has all of these really large cliffs. It's just so beautiful because it's just something that springs up out of the ocean, and geographically and geologically, it's really interesting to watch, and the colors are great, fantastic.
And in the UK's Northern Ireland, you have the Giant's Causeway, a series
What?
of hexagonal volcanic plug steps that just jut into the...
What is this? Man-made? This must be. This is not naturally occurring. No, it can't be. It can't be. Let me know. Let me know down in the comment if you know this. Well, I never say never, but yeah, leave me a comment if you know. Is this made by people, or is this natural?
the ocean side.
I love how you say that. Hexagonal.
Hexagonal.
Hexagonal. Now, despite
No, it can't be natural. It must be made by people. It has to.
being located fairly north in latitude, Ireland actually experiences a strange weather phenomena in which it actually kind of acts like a rain shield for the UK. It takes all the warm air released by the North Atlantic Gulf Stream that starts all the way from the Caribbean. This means that although Ireland is on the same relative latitude as Newfoundland, Canada, they remain about 9 degrees Celsius or about 17 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, rarely reaching the freezing point,
Okay.
which in return means they hardly ever get snow. However, that again in return means Ireland gets a ton of rain. Like seriously, over half the year is drenched. You only get like 2 months of sunshine and then it's back to the downpour. I mean, wouldn't that make you guys like kind of depressed?
Yeah, that's the British Isles for you. It seems to be a place where a lot of rainfall occurs. So, yeah, it's sort of synonymous with the British Isles. So.
Why do you think drinking's a thing in Ireland? Speaking of which, the abundance of rain allows Ireland to actually flourish in flora and agriculture,
Yes.
giving it its trademark green colour. Common crops being spuds, sugar beets, and grains like barley, oats, and wheat, which, as you can imagine, has a large portion that goes towards Ireland's most famous product, beer.
Beer! Ireland without beer is like Mexico without tacos, Koreans without kimchi, Argentinians without salsa, Bob Saget without his telekinetic laser vision.
What?
Yeah, beer culture is such an integral part of being Irish that even priests and nuns get in on the action and share a pint of Guinness.
Which, by the way, the Bible never condemns alcohol.
I have never tried Guinness, you guys. So yeah, leave me a comment below if you want me to try it. Maybe in a future video I will react to it and taste it and see what it's like. So leave me a comment and leave me a like.
Just drunkenness, so know your limits.
Yeah, we go to confessional a lot.
Otherwise, some top notable Irish dishes might include things like
Box tea,
potato bread,
brown soda bread,
bacon and cabbage,
too many stews to list like coddle and Irish
Coddle?
stew, black pudding,
Ooh.
oysters, and Guinness. And overall,
Whoa, oysters and Guinness. Look at this image right here. This looks like an experience because I like oysters. even though I've only had oysters twice in my life, I really like it. It's very tasty, especially because of what you dip in it, you put in it. But as I said, I've never had Guinness. So yeah, this looks like an interesting combination. Yeah, Guinness, I really want to try it now.
You can find potatoes cooked in various ways with like everything.
In addition, Ireland is also the perfect habitat for about 26 species of mammals like the red fox,
European hedgehog,
the stoat,
pygmy shrew.
and badger, and the one land reptile that is native to the country, the viviparous lizard.
Speaking of which, no, the story of
Viviparous.
St. Patrick driving all the snakes out of Ireland was probably not true. Ireland most likely never had snakes due to its geographic isolation from the rest of Europe, and also St. Patrick probably wasn't Irish, he was Welsh.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
misconceptions when it comes to Irish people, which brings us to... Hey, so Potter, Patter. So what does it mean to be Irish?
Oh, we're all about the crack in Ireland, so we are.
Yeah, crack. What? Crack.
Crack every day and night of the week. We love the crack, so I do.
DA, freeze, hands work, see them.
Common misconception. See, we're not actually talking about drugs, we're talking about...
Resisting arrest.
We're not...
Oh! First of all, Ireland has about 4.
It's so cool to see these early videos from the channel, because you know this is many years ago, or a handful of years ago. So yeah, it's cool to see how the channel has evolved over time, but you can still see, you know, the early humor and the way that they present the videos. Yeah, it's just cool to see what these videos were back in the day. But it's still a cool channel. They still make really cool videos.
8 million people, over 6 million if you include Northern Ireland, and has the highest birth rate in the EU. About 83%
Okay.
of the country identifies as ethnically Irish, whereas about 9.5% are white of other nationalities, whereas the remainder of the country is other groups like Asians, blacks, and who knows, probably some magical wizards or something.
So the country uses the euro as their currency, they also use the type G plug outlet, and they drive on the left side of the road.
Now, thanks to modern media, everyone probably has at least a little bit of exposure to the stereotypical Irish culture one way or another. You know, like riverdance or leprechauns or river dancing leprechauns. But there's an entire world to the deep-rooted Irish identity. First of all, the language.
Technically, Ireland, or at least the Republic of Ireland, is a bilingual country that uses both Irish and English, although English is used far more often than Irish ever is. The Irish language is related to other Celtic-based languages spoken in Scotland, Wales, and to some extent, Brittany in France.
Just when you thought you were
Yeah.
safe after the Iceland episode, Irish comes along and suddenly M and H make a V sound, D and H make a G or Y sound, B, H, and F sound.
Yeah, this is also a language that I find fascinating. I'm also, you know, a little bit of a language nerd, meaning that I am interested in languages and how they sound and how, you know, they have developed over time. So yeah, Irish Gaelic is something that I find really interesting. So yeah, if you know any cool videos about Irish Gaelic that you know about, then please leave me a comment.
Sometimes make like a W sound.
Alright, Paul, let's see you take a shot at saying these words.
All right. R-I-Gaelite.
Nope, Ariglat, it means go on.
Tavatak.
Nice try. It's talkduck, it means important.
Letras.
Nah, lehers, it means toilet.
Veilnacht.
Actually, that was just one I made up. But nice try.
For a long time, the language was suppressed and discouraged by the English-speaking rulers to the point where a couple of generations were greatly affected and grew up barely knowing their own native tongue.
Today, the language has seen a huge resurgence and is one of the core subjects in most primary and secondary schools. Although less than half...
Yeah, it's so sad to hear, you know, about that, you know, darker side of history where you know, the ruling power suppressed the minority, especially you know, a people that had a minority language. It's something that we have seen in other parts of the world, but yeah, it's sad to hear that it also happened here in Ireland. And I know it also happened in Scotland and in Wales. So yeah, that's why those languages are very small or nearly gone today. But yeah, as far as I know, Welsh is the only Celtic-based language today that is actually not endangered, because Welsh is very prominent in Wales, at least the northern part of Wales, and it's also becoming more and more important, and yeah, having this resurgence. Like he also said here, there's a resurgence of Irish, but there's also a resurgence in other places where they were denied their native language for, you know, a few generations, and now there's sort of a comeback of the language. But of course it takes time to make that comeback happen, you know. So yeah, I know a little bit more about the Welsh situation, but it's cool to hear that there's also a resurgence of Irish. So yeah, that's cool to hear.
The population claims to be fluent in Irish, and only a few communities actually speak it regularly
What?
in daily life.
How many were fluent?
Today, the language has seen a huge resurgence and is one of the core subjects in most primary and secondary schools. Although less than half the population claims to be fluent in Irish, and only a few communities actually speak it regularly in daily life, the Irish language still survives into the 21st century.
All the public signs are posted in both languages. They even have an Irish-speaking TV channel, radio station, and even an online newspaper. In order to get a real feel of Ireland, though, you kind of have to know a little bit of history, which will take way too long to explain, but in the quickest way we can put it,
Stone Age,
Celtic culture comes in.
chiefdoms,
High Kings,
Christianity,
Vikings,
Normans,
castles got built,
Black Death,
Henry VIII split from the Catholic Church and attacked,
Ulster
Okay.
Plantation and quasi-English rule, Oliver Cromwell,
wars,
Theobald Wolfe, who led a failed rebellion,
potato famine,
sons moved to the US and Scotland,
Gaelic revival,
North doesn't agree,
conflict and persecution against Catholics,
Home Rule,
Home Rule suspended,
World War I, Eastern Rising,
IRA fights,
Irish Civil War,
Free Staters won,
World War II, they remain mostly neutral,
1969 civil rights marches,
Northern Ireland gets more drama,
they joined the EU,
Good Friday Agreement,
Celtic Tiger,
financial crisis, but they still grow and move forward.
and here we are
Yes.
today.
As mentioned, the largest ethnic group of people in Ireland, the Irish, come from a long line of people known as the Celts or the Celtic.
It's Celtic, Boston. Celtic.
Not so.
Yes,
Thousands of
exactly.
years ago, the
Celtic, Celt, because it comes from the Celts. So yeah.
It's roamed all across continental Europe. However, the rise of empires and warring people groups kind of pushed them all the way west into the Isles.
And the Celts had an incredibly complex system of tribes or clans and families that dominated certain regions with their own chiefs and kings. This is partially why so many people in Ireland have Mech, or the almost exclusively Irish use O prefixes in their last names, which translates to son or descendant.
Okay.
Prior to Christianity, Celts were
Wow, this was something I didn't know. Wow. That's so cool, man. That's cool to know. Wow.
primarily farmers and cattle herders with pagan and druid roots.
With some controversial practices reported by the Romans.
Christianity came in, and then Catholicism played a huge role, even to this day.
However, certain ancient traditions still lived on, like the festival of Samhain.
Sound.
Really? What? I thought M and H make a V sound.
Nah, it depends. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Your language.
Samhain later became known as Halloween, which became popularized and is celebrated all across the world today.
However, originally they used to use turnip lanterns, not pumpkins.
Folklore and tradition is strong. We've all heard of leprechauns, but there's also Fionn McCool and the Fianna of the Fenian cycle, Cuchulainn the Hound, Deirdre and Grania, similar to the Princess Isolde and Tristan in Arthurian legend, and so much more.
And the two most popular sports, which are almost never played anywhere else in the world, Gaelic football.
And hurling.
Oh yeah, that's like a Irish Quidditch or something, right?
Hurling?
Don't call it. Oh yeah, this is a hurl.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. How do you play with that?
Why don't we ask Jason Statham?
Wow.
Speaking of which, there is no universal Irish accent. You get different
Wow.
dialects from different regions. For example,
Oh, this tosser thinks he's great. Now he's on YouTube. I'll wrap this whole round his neck. Big fat head on him. Well, I came home on a Monday night, as drunk could be. I don't know who you are or where you are. And
Nice.
I'll find you,
and return this wallet.
Dude, thank God you came here because I would have offended the entire country and gotten stabbed within hours of upload if I attempted that. Otherwise, some famous people of Irish descent might include people like
Oscar Wilde,
James Joyce,
Bram Stoker,
Samuel Beckett,
chemist Robert Boyle,
Graham Norton,
Terry Wogan,
the Irish PewDiePie
Yes.
guy,
U2 and Bono,
The Script,
the Dubliners,
Phil Lynott, whom I incorrectly referred to as Philly Knott in the Guyana episode. Sorry about that.
the Cranberries,
Enya,
Hosier, the Rubber Bandits,
the dude from One Direction,
Colin Farrell,
Cillian Murphy,
Brendan Gleeson,
Saoirse Ronan. I got that.
nail it, Maureen O'Hara,
Richard Harris,
and Northern Ireland, Liam Neeson.
and Michael Fassbender
Yes.
is half Irish, so I guess it kind of counts.
Yeah, some guy called Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Oh, and according to that one Malaysian guy from Flag Friday, Westlife and Boyzone. Otherwise, we could go on and on about the rich,
Okay.
complex layers of music.
You didn't know that? Those are really iconic Irish boy bands. I thought everyone knew that, but apparently not.
Dance, literature, symbolism, artifacts, traditions, festivals, clothing, customs, and legends. But that would take way too long, and if you want to know more, just watch any episode of Fair City or Father Ted.
Or you could just like talk to an Irish person as well.
Nah, TV's better. TV never gets anything wrong. In the meantime, Ireland's Friend Zone in 3, 2, 1. No matter where you find them in this world, you know you're going to be lucky when you find an Irishman.
First of all, as an EU member state, Ireland has strong ties to many of their continental neighbours, specifically the Catholic countries, like France and Spain. The French and the Irish have a long history of joining up in the squabbles against the British.
And about 60% of students in secondary school learn French. Spain is not only close and does good business, but it's also the #1 tourist destination for the Irish, as about a quarter of their entire population visits at least once a year.
Surprisingly, the Lithuanians have been flocking to Ireland since the 90s after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and make up the third largest immigrant group after the British and the Polish.
But keep in mind, the Polish, they like go everywhere, so it's no shocker. I mean, remember how they made up like 8% of Iceland's population? Now, despite the
Yeah.
past drama, Ireland gets along pretty well with the UK. A lot of their imports come from them, and the Irish are an almost integral part of the common British atmosphere, as so many of them live there.
And nonetheless, the best friends of Ireland would actually probably be Scotland in the UK and the USA. Scots and the Irish are Celtic brothers that have shared cultures since the
Yes.
beginning, as well as some of the same strifes
Exactly.
and struggles.
Tons of
Celtic
Irish moved to
brothers.
Liverpool after the potato famine and were generally welcomed by their cousins. I mean, horrible accents aside, have you seen that one scene in Braveheart where the Irish mercenaries backstabbed the British and joined their Scottish cousins? Yeah, like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The USA, though, is like
Oh my God, Braveheart, yeah. Great film, fantastic film, but completely and utterly historically inaccurate. Completely inaccurate. But great film.
their favorite younger cousin, who is a lot bigger and stronger. Not only do about 30% of their exports go to the US, but after the potato famine, hundreds of thousands of Irish came flocking into Ellis Island, and to this day about 35 million Americans claim to have either partial or full Irish heritage. The largest concentrations on the east coast in New England. That's about 7 times the population of Ireland itself.
It even got to me somehow. Thank you, Grandpa I never met. In conclusion, I'm actually gonna give this to you, man. Take it away.
Thank you, Paul. In conclusion, Ireland has had to Conor McGregor its way through war, famine, economic recession, terrible leprechaun rapping, and Gerard Butler's horrible accent in P.S. I Love You.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, you're Scottish. It shouldn't be that hard. But through all that, we've managed to be the coolest kid on the block, despite a few emotional issues.
Yeah, that
We're pretty
film.
rad, if I say so myself. Go on, Ireland, you beautiful, drunken mess of a nation, you. And you know what? In honor of your 1/8 Irish lineage, I've decided to bestow on you the title of kind of Irish, I guess. Here's 1/8 of an Irish shamrock, tied on with a piece of sellotape.
Wow. Thanks, Potter, even though I always get your name wrong. So, yeah.
You do. Oh, title revoked.
No! Okay, come on.
We've been through this.
Okay, so it's like ladder, but patter, right? Patter, right? Patter.
Better.
Score. Stay tuned. Israel is coming up next.
This is going to be good.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Interesting video. Fantastic, cool video. Yeah. They always make cool videos on this channel. I really like this channel, and I've been subscribed for I don't even know how many years now, but I've not even seen close to all of the videos that they have. I've only seen a handful that they have made, so yeah. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos from geography now and my reactions to it. So yeah. Anyway, I found this video very interesting because I got a lot more information than I had before, because I knew a little bit about Ireland, but not a lot. So it's always cool to get new information. So I think also I'm going to watch this video again just to get the information really, you know, in my memory. So yeah. Anyway, if you are a new viewer or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, then please subscribe to my channel. Click that button and click that bell to get notified. And also, if you liked this video, then please press that like button. It will tell me and give me the feedback that you like my video and that you like this content that I'm making. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Bye!